Hey, how's it going all? Just want to do a quick flat earth video. Just this is based on some discussions that I've had with people, and I just want to talk about how, a carpenter level can basically prove, like mentally, doing a thought experiment, that we live on a flat surface. And this to me is a really good way to challenge people. Again, we don't have control over what they ultimately believe, and really what we believe as well in a lot of ways. But when I challenged someone like this, I think it finally, it clicked, like that, their logic was flawed, and actually this person in particular doesn't want to talk about flat earth anymore. And I'm not trying to claim victories. It's not like this is my objective to get people to not talk to me, but it's not a bad thing to get somebody to think so much that they don't want to talk about something anymore, because that just means that they know that they're on the sort of precipice of some life-altering revelation, and they don't want their lives to change like that, and that's fine. In my opinion, we need a lot of people to believe the ball earth and continue to believe the ball earth and believe in a lot of things that don't make sense in order for us to have gotten to the point that we are now. So definitely won't win everybody over, but to me, from a flat earth perspective, it's worthwhile to pursue these, because in many ways it'll reaffirm our belief and what I think is a fact now, that the earth is flat. Just because people wouldn't react like this, to me it's either the person just simply thinks it's crazy and outlandish, but and they don't want to talk about it, or they don't want to talk about it because it's true, or it's likely to be true. And so when I mention to people, first thing that I talk about in this flat earth apologetics, I ask about if people believe conspiracy theories, and then I'll go into things about flat earth and how the Bible supports it, and then the water doesn't bend. But also I challenge people to think about the fact that do they actually think that they have a curvature between their feet, even if it's minuscule. And so they'll have to say yes, if they know anything about ball earth. And then I challenge them to think about the fact that if they had a carpenter's level attached to their body, solid, so it doesn't move around, and you were to just wear that and then go walk over a hill, the level would react to the hill, your feet walking over the hill. Now if you take a hill, which is let's say it's sitting on top of the curved earth, right? If you just, in the limit, in the math terms, if you sort of flatten it out, that hill would essentially, follow the shape of the curve of the earth, the alleged curve of the earth. So now the question is, why is it that when we walk over a hill, this carpenter level that's attached to our body, fixed to our body, reacts, to our to our movement over the hill, but it doesn't over curve? And then so the natural initial answer is, well, the curve is so subtle that, you wouldn't be able to notice it, which is fair. Now let's say you attach the carpenter's level to a boat, and that boat is sailing for many, many, many miles. One would think logically that that level would change because you're moving over a curve, and it would react to the change in orientation, of the boat over this alleged curvature. The answer that people will have to give in that situation, because you're able to move over a large enough distance, is that essentially that level interacts with gravity, because that's the only, again, catch-all thing. And I've done another video on gravity's impressive resume, and this is part of it, of its repertoire, is that it would then it's basically everywhere along this curve, the level is still quote-unquote perpendicular to the Earth's surface, and that's all it cares about. So they're essentially saying that this curved Earth acts like a flat surface because of gravity. So it's curved Earth plus gravity makes it functionally flat, from a carpenter's level perspective. So the orientation will not change. They might as well just stick with that with the plane as well, that gravity just sort of fixes, the plane's level to always be the same. Just so to me, it's essentially you will not see the curve with a carpenter level, unless the level was like miles and miles long, and it could be like touching um, 2 points on this curve. And so, or multiple points, like if it would have, different points of contact and be long enough that, you would start to see like the curvature. But to me, this is like, we shouldn't fall for that. To me, that when a person says it, I think they know it sounds ridiculous. Like, there's no way you can like believe that carpenter level is interacting with a thing called gravity, and just it has a special relationship, like they're best buddies or something. Like, there's no way that carpenter level knows or cares whether your feet are walking over like a hill on this curved earth, and it's clearly like moving around quite a bit, or if it's going over like a very soft and gradual hill, which is what traversing the ball earth would essentially be. You're kind of walking over a very, very slight, gradual hill all the time, and you're always kind of walking, I guess, downhill technically. And so, I don't know, like, I guess no, it's like you're walking like on a hill. And so there's basically constant, changes in in the surface, but it's just very, very minor, over a ball earth. And so to me, it's like challenge people that, what they actually believe, like what their feet are standing on. Because I think once people start thinking, oh yeah, like, I mean, I have to come to the grips in the reality that certain things would be different on a ball earth than they are on a flat earth. And if you think that they're the same and gravity is fixing it, you have to believe in some really nonsensical things. And so to me, I'll try and keep posting, more sort of flat earth apologetics videos. I find that, once I talk about the Bible, its narrative of a flat stationary earth, the water level, this level, carpenter's level, and then if I show, just videos of like commercial pilots, to me that's like very, very compelling. I think like people obviously, one thing is not enough. Like even in my journey to flat earth, like you need sort of multiple thought experiments, also lots of other people help, and that number is growing. And all these things sort of like can help somebody break down this major issue of like, how could we first fall for this for so long, and like how could a lie like that be propagated throughout the whole earth this way, and why. And so, and both would be hard to answer initially. And so that, these kind of, the more of these sort of solid, stable points and thought experiments, I think will help person, maybe not necessarily in that moment, but they'll go back and think about it and like really wrestle with their reality, and like have to look at buildings and truly believe that they're moving relative to a point in outer space. And to me, that's also incredibly nonsensical. So, just use the carpenter level. I have one on my phone, so I can actually use it as sort of like a prop, an apologetics track, so to speak, in Christian terms. And so, I really challenge people. Like, I'll put the level, here, and say, okay, I'm walking over a hill. You can definitely see, that it's adjusting to like that movement and orientation. And so, that's the same kind of thing that we have to like get people to understand would need to occur on a ball earth. And if not, they need to explain to us why. And if the catch-all is gravity, then they have to now believe that gravity somehow activates when you have, not on a small hill, because like that level is freely, like if you were to walk up a kind of a steeper hill, you will obviously like change the orientation of your body. And then when you're going down the hill, like it would recognize that, like your orientation is not firmly on a flat surface. And so that thing would be moving, quite violently. And so, when you're now on a more gradual hill, which the alleged Earth is, then, you would have to believe that gravity somehow recognizes that, oh, okay, this is like a gradual hill, so I'm just going to like kind of work extra hard to kind of keep that level flat all the time for miles. And so to me, that's nonsensical, and should get someone at least a little bit uncomfortable with the ball, or which they should be.